Good evening. It is on a very, very somber note that we are joined together this evening for another episode of Ideas at Work and Beyond. Why? Why is it somber? Because the dreaded Chicago Cubs have just hit a 3-run home run, and I believe it's the 7th inning. The Cubs, that don't even need to win these games, are ahead 6-3 against our beloved New York Mets. This just happened, ladies and gentlemen. This is live television, so don't turn over there. But I feel like we're doing a public service. A suicide hotline is going to take over this show this evening, because we need to protect some of those Mets fans that are seeing once again the September swoon unfold right before us. So let's all keep the faith. Luckily, we have some medical professionals with us this evening that will be able to walk us back from the edge, and let's hope for the best with the Mets game. This evening, I am delighted to have Irene Litwa and Noraline Dunphy, kind of like Humphrey, and from the Danbury Visiting Nurses Association.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We had talked a little bit beforehand about what the Visiting Nurses Association does. I did some research on this. This was very interesting. It's been in existence for almost 100 years now in Danbury. That's pretty incredible.
Yes, it has.
And its mission statement is primarily to help the people, to allow, to increase wellness and health in the community. And it's been an incredible, pillar of the community for over 100 years.
Yes.
It's been very impressive.
It definitely has. I mean, early public health in this community, that's what the visiting nurses used to go out and see people in their homes, and then we basically still do that. But our goal tonight is to really talk about the upcoming flu season, which is pretty important.
Now, I have agreed, we talked about this because I'm a little needle averse, but I have agreed to have a flu shot, but you were kind enough to give me the vapor.
Yeah,
what is that? Explain how that works.
You won't be getting a flu shot. There is actually two types of flu vaccine available.
Okay.
The traditional flu shot, which is the needle, which most people have get or don't get. And a few years ago, I think it's going to be 3 years. About 3 years ago, something called Flu Mist was developed.
I like this.
Yes, and it is.
Now this is because you can get it in a sugar cube, can't you? Or
no, it's kind of like a nasal spray, but teeny tiny. It's I believe like a half a cc, which is a drop in each nostril, and it will just be absorbed into your nose. Nothing. I mean, maybe other than a little tiny, a little bit of a taste in your mouth as it drips down. It's absorbed through the nasal mucosa, and that's it. No shot, and you're protected against the flu. How easy could that be?
Now, there's something new also this year that we talked a little bit about. The recommendation for getting flu shots, what was it before, and what is the new recommendation?
All children were the new recommendation for this year is to give all children a flu shot from 6 months through 18 years of age.
Okay, and it used to be just till?
Up to age 5.
Okay.
And high-risk children.
Okay.
So this year, this is the first year, it's a huge group of new people that we need to vaccinate. So we're doing a lot of new things at the Danbury VNA to try to accomplish that goal.
Okay, so up to the age of 18, that's when they recommend that the shots be done. And now, and this is what I've always found interesting, it isn't as if there's a big batch of flu shots that you can use for 10 years or something like that. Every year, they come up with a new formula. Explain that.
Pretty much, it's similar. What is it? The flu will change each year, so we try to figure out what strain of flu is going to come, and it has to be made up a year in advance. So the flu season generally hits the fall, winter. Again, it's really a roll of the dice. We really don't necessarily know, but we try to take our best guess as to what strain of flu. There's a couple of different strains of flu. I just looked on the box. New Caledonia, A, B, kind of a concoction. So you're getting a little concoction of what you think the strain will be.
So every year is it a virus? Is it bacteria?
The flu is a virus.
It's a virus.
It's viral, yeah. And that's another reason. That's why viruses are so hard, like the cold, because you don't know what you get. There's millions and millions of strains, so it's pretty hard. But they pretty much get it right. Every now and then, something unusual comes out. But it's probably about 90% chance of getting it right. And it's a short-lived, if you get the vaccine in the fall, you're pretty much protected for a couple of months and the flu season's over. So that's why you have to be revaccinated each year.
Okay, so let's call it strain 2008. So you're kind of guessing, and this is all based on biological science, you're guessing that the flu strain for 2008 is going to be X.
Pretty much.
And so you create a batch of
well, not
flu shot-
necessarily me. The
CDC,
and because it takes almost production starts probably 8 to 9 months ahead of the time. So that's why when the flu hits, they're going to know what it is. But to make the vaccine in advance, you have to kind of guess. But it's generally right. Yeah.
I think it's like around January, February. The World Health Organization meets with all these scientists, and they decide on what strain they're going to, approve, and that's the way it goes. Then
this
it goes
is
to
worldwide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No matter where you go, the vaccine is the same.
The vaccine is the same all around the world for that year.
Right.
But then the virus mutates against this vaccine.
Last year we got hit with some Australian type flu, I believe.
Okay.
And for this year, they changed all 3 strains, which hasn't happened since like 20-something years ago.
Okay.
I didn't think we were going to have enough flu vaccine, but they did it. They pulled it off.
Now, what happened a couple years ago where they thought they weren't going to have enough flu vaccines? And by the way, our phone number here in the studio is 792-4101, 792-4101. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call in. We're going to talk a little bit about where you can get these flu shots, when the best time is. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call 792-4101. Now, a couple of years ago,
there was definitely a shortage. There was a problem with the distribution. There was a problem with one of the manufacturers. It was in London, wasn't it? England?
There was one year where we were all set to go. Everything was planned, and right before we started the flu season, one manufacturer had to, they didn't distribute any of that vaccine. It was, it was taken off the market. So there was a major shortage that year. In subsequent years, it's sort of a distribution problem, and this is a very kind of secretive world, the vaccine manufacturer process. We get, when they're ready to ship it out, some physicians get it ahead of us, sometimes we get it ahead of them.
But it's all the same product. It's all the same formula.
It's the same product, but how they distribute it, nobody really knows.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to put a plug in for the Danbury VNA, though. They have been doing these large-scale flu clinics for the last couple of years. Irene has been running this awesome immunization program, and each year we do more and more. Probably one of the biggest distributors of the flu vaccine and getting the shots out, which is really awesome. Really doing a good public health job. Got a call?
Yeah, caller, you're on the air. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes. Thanks for calling.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm a short-time watcher, first-time caller, and I was a little turned on about the conversation. My name is Anthony. I'm a Richfielder. I'm not sure where you guys are based.
Well, we're right here in Danbury, Connecticut, right next to some railroad tracks, so periodically you'll hear railroad trains go by, which is kind of fun.
Oh, don't worry. I grew up in Danbury. I'm used to that.
Okay. 5 Shelter Rock Road. But do you have a question about flu vaccines?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get on topic now.
That's okay. We'd love to hear more about you, but we have these 2 lovely ladies here.
I thought you might be a Mets fan.
Well, let's get down to the beef and gravy. My girlfriend is very, very worried about the flu and whether she should get a flu shot now. Now, she's a very healthy teenager, but all this talk about the avian, excuse my pronunciation, or enunciation.
Okay, you're talking about the bird flu. Yeah, this is not the bird flu. This is your basic influenza. The bird flu is something completely different.
Was that your question?
Well, no, she's all scared and she's asthmatic but she's a healthy teenager.
She's not a healthy teenager.
She's an infant or an old lady.
If she has
All right,
asthma, she
thanks for
should
the
get
call.
one. Okay.
What about that? The bird flu.
Bird flu is something completely different. Okay.
Okay,
Avian,
but that's the kind of, movie of the week, end of the world.
Yeah.
They shoot these videos of how they treat ducks and geese and birds over in Asia.
if bird flu ever happened, it would be what they call a pandemic, which it could be the next great pandemic. About 2 years ago, everybody was all up in arms over it. The same way they were all up in arms over Lyme disease when it first came, and what was the other thing that came after that? It's the next big rage, but
Okay.
it could be West Nile virus. I put it up there with West Nile virus, but on the other hand, we have to be. But it's something. It's a completely different strain. It would be a
Okay.
very deadly strain of flu.
Okay, but what I hear
Yeah.
from your body language is not to worry, not to worry.
Yeah, there's no bird flu in Danbury that I am aware of.
But what I also understand, I mean, and we talked a little bit about this earlier. There was a flu epidemic in 1918. And now this isn't. I know this is like a pop quiz.
The Spanish flu.
The Spanish flu. And what were the
It was worldwide. Millions of people died.
millions of people passed away
Millions of
from
people
the flu?
died. Well, what happens is the flu comes around every year.
Right.
Every so many years, there's a major mutation,
Okay.
and none of us have any antibodies to protect us from that.
Okay.
The vaccine, there is no vaccine that is at hand because this is something totally new.
Okay, so this
So
is what
that's
happened
what
in
they were-
1918.
Yeah, and
Okay.
several other times we've had some
We've
big
had
epidemics.
the swine flu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not the only one. We had the Hong Kong flu. Those were major flus, not
Right.
as bad as the Spanish one. So that's why they were worried about the avian flu. But so far, I just heard a report yesterday that there's less of it in Asia than in the previous year. So,
So
maybe
the-
it's maybe.
So this isn't the Asian flu. This is the avian
Avian flu, it's
Avian
bird-
flu.
that's what they call it, avian
But
bird
bird.
flu.
But
Yeah.
there were, a lot of the cases were from Asia, Indonesia, coming down from there.
Okay, so what we're going to do tonight, we'll do nothing for the bird flu.
No.
Nothing
But what
at
you're
all.
saying is the bird flu, yes, it's a threat, but it's much further off. And actually, the normal run-of-the-mill flu that goes around every year is probably more deadly in the case of older people and things like that you can take precautions.
Well, you have a much greater chance of catching this flu than you do of catching the bird flu.
Right, okay.
Let's put it that, exactly. I mean, normal healthy people are able. You catch the flu, you're going to get sick for 2 weeks. You're going to be really sick, but you're going to get better. But you're going to be out of work for 2 weeks probably.
Now, when you say flu, is that like the common cold, or is that something different?
No, the flu is on your deathbed, aching, chill. You don't have the like a regular cold. You have the sneezing and the runny nose. The flu is more of chills and shakes, high fever.
Right.
Fever, you can't get out of bed, you're
Okay.
hurting
Yeah,
everywhere.
I mean, you are just like you felt like you run over by a truck.
Okay, all right.
That's the flu.
Let's break. Let's light this candle. What do we
Okay.
need to do?
All right, so
What-
you
got
wanna be-
latex gloves. We got.
Well, you'd like to be. We're going to demonstrate the flu mist for you. Now, the
Okay.
flu mist is a very different product. It is what they call a live vaccine
Right.
versus a kill vaccine.
Okay.
There's no difference in.
Wait. A live vaccine versus a kill
I'm getting
vaccine?
nervous now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
okay.
the shot. It's just a different type. You have to. We have to make sure he's got.
information.
He's
Oh,
got
okay. Do I have to sign something?
Yes,
or-
absolutely. We have to
Okay.
screen you very carefully. The flu
When
mist
should I
is
get the flu
only
vaccine?
for healthy people.
Okay. What are the risks? Okay. And I think we had a little. I had a little pre-interview here where you asked if I was allergic to anything, if
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was in good health, if I was taking
Yeah.
any other medications.
That's the one difference with the flu mist versus the flu shot. Just about anybody can get, with very few exceptions.
Okay.
The flu mist is only for healthy people between the ages of 2 and 49.
Okay. Just got under okay, good.
for
Yeah,
you.
I am between 2 and 49.
Okay, so that's yeah. No, no
Okay.
lying about your age here tonight.
No, I'm
Yeah.
47 years old.
Okay, perfect. Then,
Okay.
then you're a good candidate, and you have to be in good health. You can't have any cardiac, asthma. We do our screening, metabolic
disease.
diseases.
Okay.
Heart
that-
disease,
yeah.
lung disease, kidney disease.
No, I think my organs are in reasonably good shape.
Good
Okay,
health.
Yes.
so the flu mist is, as I was saying before, it's just a little, tiny little nasal spray.
Okay.
Allergic to eggs?
Am I allergic to eggs? No, I'm not. No, I'm not allergic
We
to
can
eggs.
probably mention, we screen people very carefully before we give them, when you come to any of the
Read all
VNA flu
of
clinics.
these.
Yes,
Any of the
eggs,
VNA
no,
flu
fever,
clinics, we
no,
do screen
older
you very
than 29,
carefully.
No. Okay, long-term health problems, no, except I'm tragically a Mets fan, but I don't
Okay, well,
think
see,
there's
I'm a big
anything I can do
Yankees
there.
fan, so already I'm,
Okay, yeah,
sorry
you
I'm not giving you the shot,
No, that's fine. Okay, now, while you're getting ready, where are places that people can give the flu shots, and when should they do this, and how can they get in touch with you and so forth?
The Danbury VNA, we're starting October 1st.
Okay,
We have a lot of clinics available in Danbury,
Okay.
in Newtown, and Brookfield. We're all over the place.
okay.
You can call our main number, 792-4120, and find out. It's on our website.
792-4120.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
on our website,
All right.
and that's danburyvna.org, and it will be in Sunday's paper,
And so, okay.
the whole list of...
Now, is there a charge for this, or how does that work?
We do
I
have-
will say, when you first started, the monthly salary for the nurses was $65 a month, and they collected a fee of 10 cents a visit from the patients. Has that gone up since 1918?
Just
A little bit.
Just a twinge?
Just a
You
little
guys are
bit.
making more than $65 a month? All right, we won't get into that, but,
I'm only part-time for the flu, but...
Okay.
Yeah, most insurances do cover it, not...
We do have a lot of insurances we take. We take
Okay.
Anthem, Connecticut, Oxford, HealthNet, Aetna, Medicare.
okay.
What's new for this year is that the state has a program for kids that are uninsured or are on Husky state insurance.
Okay.
And we will be able to give the vaccine to children on those programs. Whereas in previous years, a lot of it came from grants, funding. The Rotary Club has been wonderful in funding us so that we can give flu shots to the uninsured.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
this
that was
year-
one thing I was reading as well in your mission statement and so forth, that really, I mean, obviously people should pay and should have their health insurance, but they shouldn't let pay or the ability to pay stand in the way of getting proper medical care
Right,
from these
absolutely. Yeah, that's, as Irene said, we have a lot of support, Rotary Club being one, to help us with the underinsured and the uninsured
Okay.
patients.
And by the way, this is also a tax-deductible donation that you can make, and you have various fundraisers through the
Yes.
years and so forth, so.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
That looks a little bit like a shot, but it
No,
isn't.
it doesn't.
Okay, all right.
Okay, can I come around this way? Okay,
Yeah.
this is just so you
Might
might...
want to hold on to your mic.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Take your mic
Okay.
off there.
Well, that's
There you
just for
go.
you. Okay.
Come on over.
This is just because it might drip a little bit, so you need to hold this on your nose. You're going to give me...
Hold me
your
on my
mic?
nose. No, you're
No,
fine. I'll just
it,
hold
you're gonna
this.
drip. Okay. All this is, okay, just take the top off.
Right.
See, it's just like a little nasal spray. You're just going to tip your head just a tiny bit back.
Okay.
And breathe normally. I'm going to do
Okay.
one side and then the other side. So we'll
Okay.
do this side first. Just breathe in. It might drip a little. Feel it? Okay, now.
Okay.
And then the clip comes off and we do the other side. Ready? Relax, relax. Got it. Okay? You're going to feel it drip down the back of your throat.
Yep, I got
That's it. You're done.
Okay. And now I should be good to go for the rest of the year?
Well, it takes about...
Well, it takes about 2 weeks
Okay.
for
okay.
the protection
And if you have
to
that
kick in.
microphone, you can put back on so you have it. It takes about 2 weeks to kick in.
Yes.
It takes
Okay,
about 2 weeks to
should
kick
I
in.
experience any mild flu symptoms now?
It's possible.
Oh, great. Now
it
you're
is
telling me.
possible,
Now you find out.
but it's highly unlikely.
People that are getting the flu shot for the very first time
Yeah.
might feel a little malaise. Is that the word?
Malaise.
Malaise.
The Mets? Now this? I mean, this is going to be a serious malaise.
It's, and on the information sheet that we give out, these are called vaccine information statements, and again, by law, anybody who gets a vaccine gets one.
Right.
But it lists a couple of probably mild side effects that you could feel. Usually in a couple of days, you might feel a little, stuffy or whatever. People who say that this is the big question I get every year.
Yes.
I mean, if I've had a nickel for every flu shot I gave, I'd be a rich woman.
Okay.
But will I get the flu from the flu shot? No. Some people do get the flu. Okay, there's a couple of reasons. One is
I wish you would have told me all this before. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm joking.
no.
with you. Yeah.
they probably were exposed to the flu before they got the flu shot, because again, it takes a while for it to
Right.
it takes, as we said, 2 weeks for the vaccine to take effect. And like any vaccine, nothing is 100%. I mean, while I think it has, 89% efficacy, that's
Right.
there's that, for whatever reason, on certain people, it may not work as well. But we do find that even if you get the flu, you generally will not get the flu as bad as if you had not had the flu shot. So
Okay.
what I like to say to people is getting the flu shot or the flu mist
Yeah.
does not prevent you from getting the flu, it prevents you from dying from the flu.
Well, I suppose that's
That
good.
Yes, it is.
Let me. Did you happen to see the HBO series on John Adams? I don't know if you.
I
caught
saw
that.
some of it. It was
Did
quite
you?
good, yeah.
They had a scene, and it was mildly gruesome, but smallpox was which was a big, huge problem, and they had a vaccination that you would administer to prevent you receiving smallpox, and it was rather grisly. But is that the theory behind these vaccinations?
Well-
You give the patient a small dose of the virus, they build up their own
Absolutely, the antibodies.
Immunity
Immunity or
center.
antibodies against
But
that,
that's
yeah.
like the first vaccine that ever came out, the smallpox vaccine, and I think it was called the cowpox at the beginning.
Okay.
We've come a long way since then.
Okay, that was
Yeah.
a bit of a roll of the
But-
dice, but it was deadly if you got
Well,
it. So.
yeah, but I think, again, you're a little younger than us, but I think many of us remember getting the smallpox vaccine.
Is
and
that what that was? That
yeah.
round
Mark.
patch?
And if you went overseas, for a long time, if you were going to go to travel to Europe, you still
Yeah.
had to get the vaccination. I have a nice big scar on my arm from
think I
that.
might have to
You
check
prob-
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
do.
anybody who's probably 50-ish and up.
Stepped in the 70s.
It stopped in the 70s,
Okay.
but smallpox has pretty much been eradicated.
Okay.
We're very close to eradicating several other diseases. They do keep rearing their ugly head, but smallpox and polio. I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Right, exactly. I mean,
FDR, I mean, that was
Yeah.
1940s.
I mean, vaccines are probably the single most effective public health thing to ever come about. I mean,
Yeah.
as you said, 1918, that's why everybody died, because there was nothing to help us.
I mean, even I
Yeah.
loved reading history books. I mean, if you go back to the 1700s, people had huge families because children just didn't
They
survive.
died,
Right.
yeah.
And they died from these type of preventable diseases that now...
Yeah, I mean, again, Irene and I probably had measles, mumps, chicken pox, German
Yeah.
measles. You don't
Things
see...
you
Yeah.
probably never.
I-
might have had a
believe
couple.
I had
Yeah.
chicken pox.
Probably
I
had chicken
believe I had
pox.
that.
And, well, yeah, actually, my kids did too. They were in their
Yeah.
20s, but that's just about. I mean, you just don't see these anymore.
Yeah. Well, you ladies are doing the Lord's work.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. Just for the viewers, could you give out one more time the phone number and where they can get in contact so they too can have that?
We do have the flu hotline is set up at the Danbury VNA. It's 792-4120.
Okay.
Danbury VNA also has a website.
Okay. What's the website again?
DanburyVNA.org,
Okay.
and it will be in the paper.
This
the
Sunday?
whole schedule this Sunday, and every Sunday, the partial schedule will be there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. I appreciate getting
I'm-
vaccinated here. I'll let you know how it all works out.
I'm sure you're
Stay
going
healthy.
to
I'm sure it'll be fun.
have a nice healthy year, and you're going to push that flu mist.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
We're gonna break away for news, weather, some NFL predictions, and when we come back, we'll have an update on the Mets game,
Mets.
and we'll take it from there. So stay tuned. All right, and now.